Yep.
People get notified that you've gone live. We're just waiting for others to sign in.
Who signed in?
Bar. Everyone who's signing in, just let me know. Shyster Mercer. Mary Garner. Rihanna. It's Tyra.
Hi!
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Okay, I'll take it off and come over, sir.
Uma.
Dad, please. Not a lot to cover.
I was just getting impatient.
I'm not getting impatient. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Who's on? I think Shyster's on, Reese is on, our Uma's on. A few people on. Right, today we're going to do a lamb curry. Go through it, and I've chosen dry red kidney bean curry. But I'm going to do a small little quick tin version because I know a few people are doing the tin version without realising. So we're going to get started. I've got the meat. This is about just over a kilo of lamb, mixed lamb in the pan.
Yeah, we've had to hide that from our son.
Right, okay, sure.
Because he doesn't like the idea of baby lambs being eaten.
Stop it. Right, so we're going to start with some onions. I've done about 3 medium-sized onions being sliced to go into lamb. I'm only doing the lamb quite quickly because it does take a bit of time to cook. Okay, the onions are going in. Right. I've got these big chilies. I had some leftover, so I put a couple of those in just to give it a bit of
How many onions?
flavour. That was 3. This is about just over a kilo of lamb.
Kilo of lamb and 3 onions and some chilli.
Okay. So then we need tomato tin. I'm going to put a full tomato tin into there. Okay.
1 can of tomato.
Right, so then we're going to add our cinnamon stick. Don't need a lot. I put 2 sticks of cinnamon inside there. Bay leaf to go in. I like my bay leaf. You know I don't like my curry leaves. I like my bay leaves, so we're putting those in. I put about 4 in to get that started. And some cloves. So I've got about 5 cloves have just gone in there in total. I'm going to put a tiny bit of water, not a lot. Just a little bit of water just to stop the lamb sticking at the bottom. But I don't want a lot inside it. Okay? Not yet.
How much have you put in, you think?
About a cup. Because also, the thing is, right, the meat's going to release juices, the onions are going to release juices, the tomatoes are going to release juices. So you don't need too much yet. Not yet. So let's just get the spices in. So, and then I'm going to add, so I've got 1 bulb of garlic and about a good inch of, it's about that much of ginger. So which I've chopped up. I'm just going to blitz that up and put that in. So garlic and ginger are going in now for the meat. Okay?
Did you get that, Uma?
Yeah, concentrate
Garlic.
and ginger. Is Rita on here? You on here? You said she's on.
Yeah.
Hi Rita, we're going to do your favourite halwa today. phone today.
Salma says she doesn't add water.
I know, it's very, very minimal. It's not a lot. It's just because it's sticking at the bottom. It's very, very minimal. Okay. Right, so you got garlic, ginger, and Seb.
So I'm having to charge a little bit here and there.
I'm going to do the whole there in a second, so stuff. So garlic, ginger, onions and that. Now the spices will go in as well. Lamb's really easy. Now the thing is, I've clocked it going on at 12:35. Now the idea why I've clocked it is because lamb will take about an hour and a half on average, this amount. But halfway through, you kind of like need to do a little bit of work on it, sort of thing. So I always keep an eye on what time I put it in. So I'm going to put a level tablespoon of salt for now. Might need a bit more, but we'll go with that for now. And I'm fasting, so I can't even check it till later on. The turmeric's going in. So about a few tablespoons of turmeric's going in. Let's have a look. Chili powder's going in. About a third of a tablespoon.
Your brother says sack the cameraman.
He didn't charge his phone. He's pathetic. It's really bad. I can't believe he didn't charge his phone. So we've got 20% charge. We might die halfway through on this. So about half a tablespoon, heaped tablespoon of curry powder. Sorry. So that's good. I'm just assuming you all know what I'm doing. So salt, turmeric, chili powder and curry powder have gone in.
Tablespoon, 1 tablespoon.
About a heaped tablespoon of it was. Of the curry powder.
Of everything.
No, just the spinach, the salt has got to be level just because you can add salt a bit extra. Chili powder, probably about a third of a tablespoon and the rest can be a bit more. Okay, what I'm going to do is just put the lid on that and let that cook. Literally let that cook, let its own juices. Right, the next pan we'll put on. So I'm going to move that to the back gas. And the reason why I chose red bean is because they cook similar amount of time, right? As somebody else said, there's about a few people that are actually cooking the tin one, the red bean, kind of like read the thing all wrong. So we're going to throw that on as well very quickly. I've got a little pan here, only because we've got 1 tin of red bean. So we'll just throw that on very quickly.
How many cans of what? What's the weight of that?
So this is 500 grams of red bean, dry red beans. I've soaked it overnight. If you're using dry, this can be chickpeas, this can be black-eyed beans, and there's quite the big chunky beans sort of thing. So if you're using chickpeas, don't forget, I did say somebody add some potatoes. You can bulk that out, but red beans doesn't need that. It's like a proper traditional dal. So I need to add some onions to this.
How many onions?
So this is 2 medium-sized onions. Probably going to use slightly less because they were quite big onions. Yeah. So I'm going to use 1.5 medium onions there.
And there's a chilli that went in?
Yeah, there's a green chilli in that. Actually, I'm going to share the chilli to that little pan over there. So the people that are using the tin red beans.
Well, it's more of a pepper really, isn't it? It's not a chilli.
Yeah, it's not a chilli. It's a big mild one. Don't forget. So I need to add oil to the back gas. For the tin one, you need oil. Got to get me oil. So I'm doing both together. So this is the tin one. I'll mix mine together at the end, to be honest.
The onions are making me sneeze.
Sorry, Deb. So now, again in both of these, you need to I'll put a little dot of water to start this off here. Okay.
Uma says people are asking Fawzia questions. No one's asked anything yet, Uma. Have you got a question?
We've not got any questions coming up, sir.
Fawzia's shoe size is 5.
5.5. Right, cinnamon stick has gone in. And same with the back one as well. I'm going to put a little one in because I'm only doing 1 tin. I'm only doing a little bit of that. But I've said most people, for the family, you'd cook between 2 to 4 tins at least. Okay? So you do need to do that. So some cloves are going in.
Into?
Both. So I put 4 or 5 cloves into this. And I've got a couple on there because I don't need a lot in there. Okay? Baby.
Can you put your lamb in a pressure cooker?
You can. I don't like using pressure cooker. I think it takes away from the flavour, but you can, of course you can do it, but you have to know how to use it. My mum used to use a pressure cooker as well, don't get me wrong, years ago, bring back memories.
Well, it's simple physics.
Of course it is.
You're increasing.
Yeah, but you've got to know what your length of times and stuff like that. So in going back to a base curry for the tin one, it's the onions, cloves, bay leaf, and I've got a big chilli in there. And we'll throw some ginger in a minute. And in this one, I've got the tomatoes into.
Can of tomatoes going in.
I'm going to do 3/4 because I need a little bit for the back one. Forgot about that. Okay, they're all going to get mixed together anyway, doesn't matter. Tomatoes, ginger. So I've got a good inch of ginger. I'm going to share it between the two of them. Because I'm going to mix my two curries up together in the end.
Face of concentration.
Little bit of ginger in the back. Oh God, it's going flying. Blooming heck. Right, here we go. It's going into that one.
Salma says 20 minutes in the pressure cooker.
Yeah, there you go.
Check the settings.
Check the settings. I agree with that because I don't know that one. Right, no, do I not put garlic into red beans? Don't put the ginger in because we're going to do tadka. You know, like we did the lentils in the first one. So it's going to be tadka with the red beans. Okay, so you don't put the garlic in yet. Okay. Spices need to go in, so I'm not going to do the onion one yet. That's the onion saute. Okay, so this one here. Check my lamp. Okay, so spices into the red beans. This is going to be your tablespoon of salt, maybe it's slightly less. Actually, slightly more. So about a tablespoon of salt. Level tablespoon of salt. It's going to be. Now, I said the reason I've done red beans is both, they take roughly the same amount of time cooking. So that was the reason why I've chosen to do a dry bean this time.
What have you just put in there?
Turmeric's just gone in, sorry.
Because you had a tendency to forget telling everyone what she's about to do.
True.
So what's the quantity?
Right, this is going to be about third chili powder. Don't forget, if you've got, you should put less rather than more. If you're not sure, because you can always add a little green chilli or something like that into it, or a bit of extra chilli flakes. This is curry powder. I like the so some people don't like it, don't have to use it, but I like using curry powder. So there's about half a tablespoon heat gone in. I've not put my garam masalas in yet. I tend to put that in afterwards. Right, the red beans, literally now, we'll add a bit more water to it, and you let that cook for about an hour or so, stirring it every now and then, and topping up with water if you need to. You really don't do anything until the end now, until it's cooked. Okay? So, I'm going to add a bit more water to the red beans.
Very high in protein, this red beans.
Okay. The tin one, as I said, it's just back to the traditional curry. So we're just putting that there. Just letting that cook. Okay? Keep one eye on that because I'm going to do something else in a second. So I need to put the lid on this, just to let it give more heat. And then, so we've got whole red beans, dried red beans, which have been soaked, cooking away with onions, your bay leaf, cinnamon stick, cloves, spices, and ginger, no garlic. It's gone on, okay?
Almost, what's in the black pan?
Red beans.
We haven't got a black pan.
That's red beans.
It's silver.
Red beans.
Silver.
It means that one's the back pan.
The back one.
Got the lamb.
That's the lamb.
Okay. I'm going to add a little bit more water because I don't want it to dry out.
That's
totally.
the lamb, Mama. There's the onions. This is red beans.
Tiny drop more water in the back and let that just cook. So it's like, if you see the juices in there.
Onions.
Okay, but if you see the juices in there, they're starting to pick, the water's starting to build up. So that'll cover the meat and cook the meat. Okay? And let that just cook the meat nicely. Okay? Here, so we've got the back one.
One more time for you, Emma. The back one is
the red bean tin, because people are using tin red beans. Some people are using that. If you're using 3 or 4 tins, you need about 2 medium-sized onions. But I'm just doing a little bit because so we've got this red beans here.
So everything's going to cook for an hour.
Or so.
What about
that, yeah.
what about the
that
onion?
that's different, that one. Okay, right. 2 minutes. Right. Now what we're going to go on to next is I'm going to do what you call my 3-2-1 biscuit dough. Then we'll go to the halwa because the biscuit dough needs to set. So, you want me to work here?
Yeah.
Do you need? So, the reason I'm doing 3-2-1 biscuit is because it's my son's favourite. Simple, right? Okay. And it's very flexible in the fact that I'm going to add some nuts to my one. I've actually made another mix earlier. I'll show you why in a minute. But this is 300 grams of plain flour. Simple, inside there. There is 200 grams of butter and 100 grams of sugar. That's why it's called 3-2-1 biscuits. 300, 200, 100.
Yes, I'm look.
Okay.
3,
2, 1. Okay, shut up you. Right. So then, you can flavour it. As I said, I'm actually going to throw some pistachios into my one as well.
Are you making cheesecake now? No, it's a 3-2-1 biscuit.
Who said cheese? Is that Nyla?
Yeah.
Rita, no, I'm not making cheesecake today. I have said 3-2-1 biscuits. How many times have I said this?
Oh, do you want me to do that again? It's called 3-2-1 because it's
Shut up,
3, 2, 1. 3-2-1 ingredients. Well, three ingredients used in one product.
Okay, right. We're just gonna. Before I start mixing that, I'm going to get back to this extra pan roll because the onions are starting to brown there a little bit. So obviously the people at home that are cooking this, the tinned red beans. This is the tinned red beans. I'm going to add my spices to it a little bit, and the tomatoes I put on the lowest gas, just so it's out the way, so I'm not thinking about it. Put that on gas. Okay, right. So
You said it should be a cheesecake. I think we're going to do that.
I will do a cheesecake eventually. I've got a lot of things to cover, you know. I can't do everything in one go. And it's Eid coming up, and these biscuits are for Eid gifts.
What is that you're doing now?
So I'm adding the seasoning to the pack. This is for the tin.
Right, she's all over the place today.
I'm not all over the place. I just saw that onions. I wasn't planning on making this one.
What is this?
That. It's the same red beans, but a tin version. Because some people are using tins. That's the reason why I have to do this. So just extra. Some people didn't do. So you've got a bit of salt, a bit of turmeric.
This is for if you're using
Tinned one.
So what is this then?
Red beans, tin red beans.
There's no red beans in that.
I'm going to cook it, so.
Well, to help explain to other people why they've done this and that. That's what's confusing me.
Shh. Dad.
Ah.
Just like, what are you on?
Rosie's going to beat me up.
I'm totally going to be your after. Stop doing a marital on Facebook. You can't do things like that.
I was just wondering what this was for, honey. Okay.
Said that 20 times. Right, so. This is a quick version. If you're doing it at home, you could take your time doing it. I'm just trying to get this out of the way.
Did you soak your red beans overnight?
Of course I did.
How long? Did you put salt in the water?
Nope, not to soak it now. Right. This is, I'm going to leave that alone, I'm not going to touch it. So it's just base curry sauce, that's what that is, okay? For the red beans, but we'll come back to that afterwards. Right, now I can concentrate on the 3, 2, 1. So it's 300 grams plain flour, not self-raising, really important. In goes your 200 grams of butter. These have just come out of the fridge, so they're fairly solid. Do not put the sugar in yet. And mix this up. Actually, no, I've had them out for like half an hour, so they're all gone soft. Okay. Why are we just disputing about the red beans? I can't get it.
Because Umma's confusing me now. So that's what I asked before about the small pan.
It's just because there's some people that are following. Said, please.
No, it's almost going.
Stop it. Children, behave.
Okay, Umma. The small pan is for the curry sauce if you're using
tinned
red beans.
The other pan has got dry red beans in it. Only because there's about 3 or 4 people doing tin red beans and I didn't want to show them just that way.
Yeah. So what are you doing now?
So I'm just, this is quite nice actually. I like doing this, by the way. This is my favourite bit of making biscuits. You just stand here with butter and you just rub it all together. You're rubbing the butter, you're breaking the butter down, okay? And breaking the sugar down. So you've got to make sure, keep going at it until you get bread. First of all, you get breadcrumbs, okay? But just keep going at it. Okay. It's quite calming, see now. Stop it, stop falling asleep, you. Any questions apart from we're not making cheesecake for the 100th time today?
We'll do that next week.
No, we're not doing next week. I think I'm doing brownies next week. I had that in my head. I think we're going with brownies next week because somebody's also asked for that as well. Who's up for an Eid biryani cookalong?
No.
There's a few people actually want to do it. You'd be surprised.
What, not celebrate Eid, just do a cook-along?
No, that's not. Yeah, because they're going to celebrate it with the family because they can't go to the mums. Like, you can't go to your mums and do biryani. So everybody's going to make their own.
This reminds me of my home economics class years ago.
Who's saying that?
I think it's anti-Tyra.
Anti-Tyra, Tyra. Oh, Tyra, you're anti-Tyra. Oh, God.
Well, I don't care. My sons will just say, we're going to anti-Tyra's.
Like, as you see, as you're coming along now, it's actually coming quite buttery rather than floury. Keep going at it, keep going at it. And it does start doing this sort of...
yeah, one person, Yasmin, said would like to do the Eid cook-along.
Yeah, no, I know there's a few people that are actually after it, sort of thing, so I'm alright, I'm good with that.
So keep crumbling it. Well, you're getting it crumbled.
Right, as you cover it, you can see it's coming down. Now, this is when we start adding the sugar. Okay? So it's 100 grams. How many grams was it, Chef, sugar?
100.
See, you remembered. Okay. There you go.
300, 200,
200 and 100.
Did you get that, Uma? Uma's asking what you're making. Should we do it again?
Biscuits. 3, 2, 1. Biscuits. There you go. Why? Because it's my kids' favourite and they are perfect Eid gifts. Okay, and the reason is I'll show you later on why I'm actually doing them today.
Eid gifts?
Yep, watch, I'll show you. It's brilliant for Eid gifts. Right, okay, so I'm not squeezing it totally together. There's a reason why yet.
So it's like a bready crumb. Yeah. Definitely want brownies next week. Yeah, brownies, yeah. I had a cat called Brownie.
Okay, right. So, now you keep squeezing it and squashing it until you get it together like that. I've made a little batch before, so the plain one will be for my kids. But because you do get your odd friend coming around, I'm adding pistachio nuts to this one.
You can add anything really.
You can add anything. Before I crumble it together.
Cherries.
And I'm going to add...
What about blueberries?
If I can.
Mashed banana.
Maybe a bit of ginger going through there with the orange. I'm going to try to get some orange into it. You know.
Can you do mashed banana in it? No, on a serious note. Any fruit.
No!
Any fruit.
Okay, it's not the brilliance of oranges, okay, but it's getting some orange into there. So I'm going for orange and pistachio. You can still ice these, but you know when your friends come around and you got somebody, you know somebody's coming around, these take about 20 minutes to cook. It's not difficult. So it's a nice little treat to make for people. Now bring it together. That butter will have gone soft after you're doing it. Bring it together. Now the reason why I've made this, I can smell that orange now. Okay.
Yes, very strong.
Strong smell. It's a really nice smell. So this is orange and pistachio. This is for the adults basically. And there's a plain one there for the kids. So my kids won't have the nuts. They'll see my what? Oh, these are. Right, yeah. So. Okay, so that is, what biscuit is it then? Uma, what biscuit is it?
Uma.
So now what you do is get your cling film, wrap it up and put it in the fridge for about 20 minutes, half an hour, which is what we're going to go and do now. Okay?
20 minutes in the fridge.
Which gives us time to do our halwa.
It almost says 1, 2, 3.
Let's give it 3, 2, 1. Okay. I'm sure my family are sabotaging this.
123. 123 biscuits. Actually, no, I know what that is. That's the amount of biscuits Umar will eat with his tea.
By the way, Umar's my brother.
123 biscuits.
So he'll wind up chronic all the time. Right, I'm just going to take this red bean thing off the gas for now.
And we're going back to the...
Okay, so we're going back to the cooker, is what we're doing. Somehow squeezing this pan on. Right, I know there's a few people interested in halwa. I love my halwa. So, most important thing is you've got your red beans cooking, you've got your lamb cooking away. This is taken off for now because I'll come back to this after I've done this. But it's basically the base curry sauce of a red bean tin. Right, I'm putting this gas on high. I'm actually drying up the pan. I want a dry pan.
Why do you need it dry?
Because the semolina is going to be dry going into it, so it'll be nice and dry. Boil your kettle of water as well, ready.
What is halwa?
Halwa is semolina pudding. Simple. And there's so many variations of it. So many takes on it. Okay? Right, so I have got semolina.
That'd be...
This is coarse one. I've got a coarse one. You can use fine or coarse. Right.
I've never been a fan of semolina.
Oh, I love the semolina. So you're just the fussiest thing going on stuff food, I have to say.
Is this a carrot one or just...
No, this is regular semolina. This is a coarse one.
Okay, so
I've got a big wide pan because I'm making 2 cups of this. Don't forget, it does swell out quite a bit. Right, okay? So you will need a bit of space. If you're just doing it for a smaller amount of people, 1 cup is enough. Okay? But this is going to, for certain family members who are talking away, or Umar, who'll be getting some of this later.
2 cups.
Okay, so I'm going to go with 2 cups. Okay. Start with that. Oh, we're going to put my sugar, just realised that.
2 cups of semolina have gone into there.
Right. Now what you need. The gas is on at the moment high-ish. Right, you need to actually cook the semolina first, slowly, okay, but without burning it. And now you'll see at the moment it's a pale sort of golden colour, right? As you stir it and as you cook it dry, it will go a dark and you'll see a change in colour, okay? This is like the important part and you'll smell it. At the moment I can't smell it. So it's not cooked. You'll smell the semolina cooking away. You'll actually get, there's a really nice smell that comes from it.
So you're browning it.
Basically, I'm browning and cooking, drying out and cooking out the semolina first. That's the first thing. While that's just going on, I'm just going. I like fresh. I mean, you can use cardamom powder. I will be adding cardamom to it. So. Not that many. So about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 there. So 9, 10. So I'm just going to crush them. But keep one eye on the semolina because it is important to stir it. Right, I've actually made also ghee. Can you tell them a story about ghee, sir? What happened?
Yeah.
We made ghee a couple of weeks ago. What happened?
When you extract that from butter.
Yeah. No, but what happened when you were filming this 2 weeks ago?
Well, I'm saying, suppose you forgot about how hot oil gets when you boiled it, or try to. It tends to contain a lot of energy. So she poured it into a plastic jug.
And it melted and it just went everywhere. We had ghee everywhere, literally everywhere. Didn't we?
Yeah, I cleaned it up.
You did? Okay, right.
Salma says, I thought you didn't like ghee. She doesn't.
I don't.
She's
Only
only made
homemade
it.
stuff.
She's made it. To see
Not
if
the
you
shop.
can.
That's not the shop bought stuff.
that was made-
stinks. This does not smell at all. It smells nice. It's got a nice smell to it. The shop bought stuff, it stinks. That's nice. It's really nice smell.
I'm going to do a smell test.
It smells nice. And it's Anchor butter. You know what my mum used to use, the proper stuff. How are you doing?
It's it doesn't smell like the stuff in the shops.
No, not at all. Right, keeping one eye on this, I can smell that semolina was just going to start burning then. So I'm going to lower the heat. Right, where's my tea towel? I'm actually just going to lower the heat. I'm going to need that butter in a minute now.
Oh.
So I'm going to lower the heat down. On heat down.
Rianne says, how did you make homemade tea?
I posted it up the other day. You have to read the instructions. I did post it up.
You didn't do the video though.
I know, we didn't. Well, we
No.
did. I have posted the instructions up. Basically, so hang on. This is starting to. Now you can smell it. Hang on, you see that? There's a brownness. You'll see the brownness. There's a. Go in. You can see like it's starting to change colour there. And the more you do it, the darker your halwa will go. The less you do it, the lighter your halwa will be. It just depends on how patient you are. We'll go halfway, I reckon. I don't think we'll go too dark. I don't think we'll go too light either. So I had 500 grams of butter in a pan. Actually, it was in this pan. And I was cooking other stuff, and all it was on the very, and I'm talking about very, 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 very minimal heat. And you just stir it with have a wooden spoon, stir it every now and then, and it's like a bubble phase, a second bubble phase, and you take it off at that point, and the impurities are all cooked. You'll see it. Yeah, it's just watching it slowly. And I think filming that would have been quite boring because you're standing there just watching these bubbles, aren't you? Actually, to be honest. And then you drain it off. I had a muslin cloth and I drained off the impurities, poured it into the correct. We bought a glass jug in there, didn't we? Oh, there you go. It's nicely browning. So we'll get them there. Now you really can't take your eye on. Look at the gas level on these ones, but you can't take your eye off the halwa because it'll suddenly just burn, and then you have to start all over again. But it's got quite a nutty smell, hasn't it? You can smell that, can't you? Okay. Right, a few more minutes we'll go with.
Have you put your cardamom in?
No, I've not put anything in it yet. I'm just waiting for this to go to the correct colour.
Susanna's on.
Hi Susanna, you missed the beginning of the meat and that. Well, Susanna was very good because she'll watch the videos and starts cooking and sends me big pictures of her big meals that she's been cooking. She cooks more than me. She was sending me, she did the butter chicken and chana dal. Susanna, if you're doing chana dal next time, add some leek halfway through. Add a little one leek chopped up halfway through, and it just lifts it up even nicer.
I almost said, how do you know when it burns?
You can see it. You can actually see it. I'm stirring it, so if I left that would go. You can actually see it go black, charred black. You can tell our Omar was bored today, can't you? He's well on it.
Oma doesn't like coffee.
Was that like a really relevant piece of information?
It is for Oma. He's making notes for his cookalong.
Is he? Oh, okay. Are you going to competition with me there, Oma? Oma's the expert at steaks, I think I remember rightly.
Ordering them.
Okay, right, I think we're going to... Let's go with that. So you can still, if you leave it, it will go dark very much. Just going to leave it a second without hopefully burning it. Watch what happens. Oh, I've turned the heat down. That's why it's not burning. Okay, right, I've did turn the heat down. So what I'm going to do, this might be a bit of a light halwa, but it's fine. So I'm going to add the cardamom. So taking the leaves out, add cardamom to it. Okay. Then I'm going to add, right, this is a bit of a, no I'm not, I'm going to add the sugar next, sorry. So I've got a big tub of sugar here. Hopefully I've got enough. I didn't realise I was running out of sugar. Okay, let's have a look. So I did 2 cups of semolina, so I'm going to do like 1.5 cup of sugar. Okay. Maybe a bit more. So it's equal balance. Okay. Okay. Right. Stir that through. Then, as I said, I was just saying, is I have got sultana. I'm going to drain the water off. I'll explain what this is. So when my mum used to make halwa, she'd always use green sultanas. Green sultanas are dried sultanas, and you do need to soak them for like even 10 minutes beforehand. Our Salma kindly bought me a packet recently.
Well, here's a question for everyone. What fruit is a sultana? What is it made from?
I'm going to add this in, and I'm going to add, I'll start cooking my butter as well. I'll add some of my nuts. I've got some coconut flakes and almond flakes. I'm going to do half. Okay. I've added all sultanas because I want the sultanas to cook through. And I'm adding half of pistachios.
Chopped pistachio.
Yeah.
Right.
Now we're going to add butter. Now my ghee's going to go in.
The answer, yeah. Have we got 2 people who said grapes? 3 people who said grapes. Duh. And Uma's opted for a banana.
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah, Uma likes bananas.
Okay, so you're going to do about 250 grams ish. So I know this is about 500, so I'm going to do a tiny bit. Probably about 400 in there. You do need your butter. Okay, this is really important. Okay, because you're going to cook it. Right.
How much of butter have you used or ghee?
Probably, so I did say when I made it just straight butter, you need 250 grams. Okay, I've got ghee and I'm going to add a bit more if I need it too. Right.
It's a bit dry.
No, you're going to add water in a minute, don't worry. So this is like an important cooking out stage.
Hey, Uma, this smells pretty good.
Okay.
What's the difference between a raisin and a sultana?
I don't know. Somebody tell me. Who can answer that question?
Sultanas are grapes and raisin is the red grape.
Couldn't tell you. Is one green and one red, possibly?
Sultana, I think, is the green grape or the white grape, and a raisin is the red one. Because it's always, a raisin is always darker, isn't it? Oh, Salma says red and green.
There you go. I just said red and green as well. I'll just check my meter so it's like, yeah.
So what's a damson?
It's another fruit, mister. Okay.
Oh no, a prune.
I'm going to add a little bit more butter to mine.
A prune is a damson. Or a plum. Dried one.
And even as I'm doing that, it is sticking to the bottom, which is nice because this is what's going to give colour to your halwa as well. Don't forget, I didn't burn it too long at the beginning, so this will be a light halwa. Now, what I'm going to do, I did say make sure you've got a boiled kettle of water. This is really important. This is why I've got a big pan, okay? Because it'll fizz right up at you. But it is really important, okay? Just do it very slowly.
How much water are you putting in?
I'm just going to do it slowly, keep watching, because it'll dry out. Probably most of this kettle in the end. But it'll dry out and dry out and dry out. Oops. Okay. Oh, I don't need to in this one. And the ghee is giving it a sort of a very richness, so we don't probably need to put too much.
If you're using butter, you're going to have to use more water.
No, we will in a minute. Okay, just keep an eye on it and keep cooking it.
This is a dessert.
Yep.
And your biscuits are still cooking, or?
No, we'll do those in a minute. The other ones are out, the pre ones. Okay. Let it just keep cooking out. I'm going to add some kevra, which is, now these are flavourings of it. So you've got rose water and kevra water. Kevra water is very, very yummy, so that will definitely go in. Okay, so put into the lid. It's a real sort of, you put it into rice puddings, into gadrilla, put it into loads of stuff.
What is it?
Do you know what? I actually don't know. It's the essence of kevra, as it says to you on there. A little bit more. But it's nice. It smells lovely, doesn't it? Kevra smells lovely. It's a leaf. It's a certain sort of leaf because it's got these leaves on it.
Yeah, that's a traditional Asian dessert smell.
Okay.
Can't explain what it is. There's nothing in there. You have to get that from the Indian shops, and this is rose water. Be a little bit less with the rose water. You don't want too strong a flavour, so I'm just doing a couple of dots. Okay, a bit less with that. Somebody actually asked, what is Kettle?
It's, you know what, we don't know. It's essence of kevra, so that's what it is. It's called pure and natural kevra. You get it from the Asian shops, only the Indian shops, but it literally is in most Asian desserts. You'll find that in there. Okay.
So it looks to me like there's the picture of the leaf. So it's a very sweet extract from that. Yeah. Like stevia. Stevia will come out in the sap. And then it's dried off. So that's more or less the same, but stevia doesn't taste as natural.
What I'll do is keep one eye on that. Red beans are cooking away. Might top some more water into the red beans. Okay. Keep topping that up because it does need cooking.
I'm going to check that one.
The lamb one. Tea towel. Yep, that's fine. That's cooking away. Make sure it's still got some sauce and it's not sticking to the bottom yet.
It's definitely not weed salva.
Is that what Sal was saying?
Yeah. Salva's rolling up as we speak.
I think I put too much ghee in this one. It's fine.
How are you going to counter that? More water?
I'm not. Just let it cook out. It is starting to cook down. But if you're using butter, it's just straight 250 grams of butter was for 2 cups of semolina. That's what you need. Right, you know we have still got this can here. This is for the tinned red beans. Somebody was doing, there's like 3 people doing tins. So I've just taken out the bay leaf. I've just taken that out. And I'm going to add a little bit of water. And you just blitz it. Stir that, get it around it. Okay, that's starting to stick at the bottom nicely.
Can you turn the heat down?
No, it's on low heat actually. Actually, that's the reason why it's on low heat. I need to put the heat up. Right.
So this is for people who have got canned kidney beans. Here's some garlic. That's a knife I sharpened today.
So what you need to do, are you quite happy there? Is to smoothen this out, okay?
would you use if you haven't got one of those?
You can use the other blender, the big blender. So we're not getting rid of every single onion and then smoothing it down totally, but kind of red kidney beans. So what we're going to do is, so you've got a smooth paste, basically the base sauce. Just opening the can of red beans, adding that to it. I normally have two, but I think I've only got one tin. But I said I'm going to add this to my other curry later on. And you just cook that through, add a bit more water if you need to. So we'll put that on the little gas. Okay.
Oh, your friend B2 isn't.
Hi B2.
She's asking what's actually cooking.
I met her outside after in the queue, didn't I, yesterday, B2?
Excuse me.
And I told you then, ha, no it wasn't. So it was lamb curry, there's red bean curry, dried one, halwa, put a little bit extra oil in the halwa, a little bit extra ghee, than I'd like to have, which is fine. We'll use a tea towel and get rid of that later on if we need to. Okay.
And biscuits. Probably biscuits.
Yeah, no, we're doing that in a minute. Just want to get the halwa finished first.
Anyone else who's cooking along? How's your kidney beans doing?
Or the lamb. There's a couple of people doing lamb as well.
Kia likes baby lambs.
My baby lambs. A bit more water. Right. The more water you add to this, and just slowly, the softer your halwa becomes. Okay.
Everyone's well, people who are cooking along is going well. Are you doing all three at the same time?
There's a couple of people doing that, red bean and the lamb, I know that.
Umma's said he's making kidney bean curry.
Yeah.
How do you do that from your bedroom, Umma? Nicholas has, how do you multitask to that extent? I panic with 2 dishes.
It's all in the prep, I think, today. I think today's definitely in the prep. Wait till you get to the 3, 2, 1 biscuits and icing, then you'll be like, oh my lord. Well, let's just get the halwa done because I want that one, at least that's done out the way. I'm not thinking about this one then. Don't forget, those two are just cooking away, so they're doing quite well, time-wise.
Umma's actually shouting instructions to Hamza, who's doing the cooking.
Oh my god. This is talking to my 2 brothers now, who apparently are both cooking together. Sal, can you please explain that?
Hamster is asleep. He's always sleeping.
So basically, I think we've nearly used a full kettle. We're just working our way through. We have used nearly a full kettle of it. And your arm does kill. Oh, your arm's killing with that one. But you have to work at this. You do have to work at the halwa. This is how you get a soft halwa. If you just sort of stop halfway through, it's not going to be nice. Nearly there.
You can take a little rest.
The arm needs a rest. Do you want to stir this for me?
No.
There you go. This is my sous chef. Standing there with the camera.
It needs extra charge.
Okay, I just stand there for a minute.
Okay, Fosie's on stirring duty.
I'm just going to put that bit in. it out. Okay. Now, this is actually nearly done. What you want it to do is to cook the water out to a degree, but not all totally dry. Quite happy with that. That's a nice halwa. That was really nice.
Salma says poor effort. Yeah, I know. I'm having to charge it and then go back.
Right, note the way I haven't put any glazed cherries in yet. Okay, because if I did that right now, they'd all mush through. So, and we will do that right at the very end.
Oma says he's a poor cameraman. I am actually, yeah, because Fuzzy hasn't paid me yet.
Yeah, and also he didn't put the phone on charge. It's his own fault. It's known all week. Right, so that is nearly done. So now we'll go back. We've got some.
You made enough alma to feed an army.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oma says he doesn't like cherries.
Oh no, sorry mate, you're going to have to put them to the side today. I like them. So tough to it. So you get your cherries, cut them up into halves.
He says coconut is better. There's
Do you know
coconut
what?
in
I
there.
didn't have any coconut. Coconut, yes, desiccated coconut. There is coconut inside it. You can use desiccated coconut. You can use ground almonds, any nut you want to use. You can put dates in, some people do. You can do whatever you want to do. So I'm going to add that now because I know it's near the end. I'm adding extra nuts now because it gives it extra crunchiness. And some extra flakes.
Flakes of what?
You've got flaked almonds and flaked coconuts. Only because, and there you go, the halwa is more or less done. And just stir that through just lightly. And the reason why I put some of them at the beginning is because you got like a soft mix and then you've got this sort of nice bite with the crunchiness. And the heat will cook that through. And do you know what? Pretty good. Okay, so we're happy with that. So we're going to turn that gas off for a second. Just sprinkle that a little bit more. Okay. Be all posh.
Oma's upset because you've added cherry.
You'll get over it. Right, okay, so I'm going to just check my curries next. And then we'll go straight on to the biscuits.
We do it here.
Yeah, I'm going to take this. Okay, right, let's take this out here. Right, so I'm going to take the halwa off. Right, halwa is done, by the way. That is done. That
It's
is
going to be
nice.
really hot.
Yeah, I'm just going to take it off the gas, out the way.
So Salma's here, more for you if Oma doesn't want the cherry one.
Okay, let's have a little look. So, how's my cooking going on? First of all. Okay. Right, you have to check. They are starting to break down now, the red beans a little bit. You do need to give this a stir every now and then to break down the onions.
B2 said it was that was dessert.
Halwa?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one dessert. I'm going to do biscuits as well in a minute. Okay. So, when you're making red beans itself, in dry beans, you should try to regularly give it a stir, because then you are breaking down the onions and thicken it up. So we'll leave that there a second. Put that back on. Okay. I need some tea towel. Bring the lamb to the front so we can see what the lamb is looking like now. Ooh, nice. My lamb is starting to burn. Okay, right, we need to rescue this. So the lamb is starting to stick quite nicely at the bottom. That's the operative word. It has been over 45 minutes. Now what you need to do now for the lamb, as it's halfway through, you do need to do something, and that is add some butter or oil. I'm going to add some butter into this, which I didn't put on the ingredient list, I apologise, but you can add oil.
B2 says, I've missed the ingredients for the kidney bean curry. Is the recipe still already posted?
No, the recipe will be posted up then onto the YouTube video afterwards. But I put the ingredient list up. No, the ingredient list was put up on Wednesday. So what you need to do with the lamb is to cook the lamb.
You have cooked it?
No, you need to, it's called, we call this like a budgia stage, where you really sort of mush it down and you really cook it in the oils.
Why butter?
You can use oil. Sorry, I just had butter to hand. Of course you can use oil. And as a matter of fact, I'll grab some.
You're using oil and butter?
I've used a little bit just to show you.
Right. 2-minute charge.
So
What are you doing now?
right, with this, you can keep stirring this and you'll get like a dark sauce. You need to sort of keep stirring. Again, okay, and then after this, give it about a good 5-10 minutes, give it a good, keep cooking it down at this stage. Then you can literally add whatever you want to it, okay? You want to make, we'll do a lamb curry eventually, like a lamb and potato, traditional curry. But this one, I think peppers go so well in this curry. So we're going to add some peppers to it. Lamb and pepper is a really nice curry. Okay. So just check how your lamb is feeling. It's still tough. So you like dry cooking it out first and then you add liquid back to it, sort of thing. So
Very steamy.
yeah. Okay, while that's happening, I'm going to give that like 5 minutes. We're going to do something. So we did the 3-2-1 biscuits. I won't go through all of that yet, but we're going to make the icing to go on the biscuits. Okay? Because we've got about 5 minutes just for that to cook down. So in a pan, in a bowl. Don't crack the egg everywhere.
What type of egg is it?
This is a large free-range egg.
What animal?
I don't know, you tell me. Are you going to do the hen and the egg story? I know you're going to try that one.
No.
You are, you're trying it. So this is too large.
And what type of bird?
To start you. I need to go wash my hands. Okay, so there's 2 egg whites in this bowl. Okay?
2 egg whites. How do you know it was a chicken and not any other bird?
Well, your kids were telling you the story, weren't they? They were talking to you. Right, so you need how to make royal icing. So basically we're doing royal icing. That's how you cover it. Hand whisk it. Until you get the froth. Go away. Good. Okay, that's nice. Right, then we'll add our, so this is probably just under 500, it's about 450 in here, of icing sugar.
So you're adding the whole lot?
I'm not even sieving it. I'm going to add about half the packet first.
So you need 3 hands for this?
No, normally I just shove it all in, but I want to just do it slowly. Get like a... Okay. Right. Right, so that's going to be too runny first of all. So it's kind of like a mix. You've got to sort of work it out. That's going to be too runny to do icing.
But we like it runny.
Uh-huh. You don't even like runny eggs? You're moaning about. Now, I was taking it a little bit thicker here because... I'll show you why in a minute. Still needs a bit more. Stop it. Right. So I've done about, there's about 450, I was right.
She's used it all.
Just stir it with lamb so it doesn't burn. Okay, that's nice. Right, so I'm going to bring that in.
it's turning into a dough.
It's thick. It's not totally thick, but it's thick, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is squeeze a couple of dots. Do you know what? It gives it a nice flavour. That's the reason why I always take it a bit thicker and then I make it runny again. Just squeeze it all in. But that's probably the right consistency. Okay, but we'll work that out when we do the biscuits. That's royal icing basically. Okay, if I need some more icing sugar, I can add some more icing sugar. We'll do the colours in a minute. Okay, so that's literally royal icing, 2 egg whites, about 500 grams of sugar, and a squeeze of lemon. And we'll mess around with the thickness in a bit when we're icing the biscuits. Right. Pass me curry. Okay, that's good. Right. Still got the pan of red beans one as well. So you'd cook that. I'm not going to cook this out, but so you'd cook this on simmer for about half an hour or so, and then at the end we're going to do the garlic tadka, which I'll do for both, and I'll mix it because this is cooked anyway. So this will get cooked into that near the end. So just do it, which will show what I'll show you what the garlic tadka is at the end, which is the lentil one. If you have the lentil curry, you'll know what I mean.
What do you do with the yolks?
Oh, we could make some custard, couldn't we? What do you reckon?
No.
No?
Custard, what are you going to use it on?
I don't know. You just said what could it be there. Custard's usually a good answer. Okay, right. So, we'll do that in a second. Peppers. I'm just trying to get the lamb one finished off. So before I start doing the icing and the biscuits, I'm just going to get the lamb on its simmer. Okay. So now you can it starts getting sticky at the bottom. You want that to happen. You want to use that stickiness to cook it through. If you don't do that, you end up with like what we call raw, like a white meat sort of thing. If you don't cook this part down properly, it's like what we call kacang meat or white meat, or it doesn't taste very nice.
Raw.
It looks raw for some reason. This is like a really important part.
Kacang means raw.
Raw.
Or underwear.
Yeah. That's kacang. That's kacang.
Depending on how
you
say it.
We just bought some new big boxy shorts for the boys, you know, the other day. They were made up. Just saying. Anyway, let's go back to this. They'll be embarrassed that I told you all. Okay. So, what?
It's very subtle between the two words what you say.
Yeah. So we've got a red pepper and a green pepper. Green pepper goes really, people don't like green pepper a lot, but it does go really, really well with, where is my knife? Oh, it goes really, really well in a lamb curry. Simple. So I think a lot of people don't like to use this in salads, but in curries it does go well. Okay. So we're going to add that to the lamb and then just put that on simmer. So take some of this pith out.
Yeah, Salma's it's the two words are very similar.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, right one. I'm going to add to that.
So that's 1 lot of peppers.
Yeah. Now I'm going to add some more. Just boiling the kettle, sorry.
So you're going to have this with roti, naans.
I haven't decided, Sal, what should we cook? It's my study to the family this, by the way, so everybody's eating this. I haven't decided what we're going to cook. I've got rice. We can do. I've actually bought yeast. Sal, you gave me a dodgy yeast. It didn't work last time. So I've gone to this Arab shop. It's brilliant. They've got boxes of yeast, by the way. If you need yeast or plain flour.
So if you've got yeast, then I would suggest naans.
Should we do naans today?
This is a dish that's...
So naans is
it's got to be if you're doing lamb because it's a rich meat.
Okay. I think Mr. Chowdhury wants naans.
I've never been a fan of lamb. Really.
You don't like red beans or lamb? Actually, you've got used to red beans.
Red beans is quite good.
You get used to red beans.
Because I don't think you should eat baby lambs.
Oh, stop it. Don't you start that debate now. Okay?
Yeah.
Right, so...
Our son would be very upset.
So I've done 2 peppers basically into it. You can use yellow pepper, you can use whatever you want to use into there. Okay?
Salma says it was years old. So that means it's a sheep then.
So now, it actually gets sticky at the bottom, it's quite dry at the bottom, that's perfect.
Well, I think we just lost connection for a second there due to a disruption in the internet. But, are we still back on? Can you still see Fozia?
Okay, so right, what I'm going to do is add some water. I'm going to go into the pan. I'm going to add some water now to it, and just enough to cover it. And you can make a big curry pan full, we call shorva, but I'm going to make it fairly thick and not too.
Yeah, we're still on.
We've got 2 curries.
Still live. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
So I'm going to literally put this now. First we'll bring it to the boil, and then it'll go on simmer for about 20 minutes, half an hour.
So cover the meat. Or cover the dish with water so it's submerged.
Okay. So you've got that.
So naans tonight then?
Is everybody up for naans? Are we all going with that now?
Naans, everyone?
Right.
Who's coming to Fosia's for a...
No, it's all boxing up. Nobody's coming in. The social distancing, you daft bloke.
Who's coming to Fosia's for a chow now?
No, we drop it off at people's doors. They're not allowed.
Chow down.
Thank you. Right. Okay, let's go back to our red beans before I start doing the biscuits. Okay. Yeah, they're coming along nicely. And rather than wasting this pan, I'm actually just going to mix the two together. Because all we're going to do now is add a tadka, so I'm actually mixing my other one. I'm not wasting it. So we'll just mix it all together.
And what does that word mean?
The tin one.
Tadka.
Tadka is it's how you finish it off with the garlic oil. Or you could do, people do even like onion. It's basically a fried mush of stuff that you put on and finishes it off. Nice flavour. So I said I haven't really stirred this, and I should have been stirring this to break that. Sam will shout at me later for leaving the onions in. She goes, "Too many onions, spicy onions." You need, again, you need to do a bit of stirring with this really to break it all down. And then, okay, so remember we had a bulb or so of garlic for that. We didn't put the garlic in, so we're going to mix that up.
Fosia's favourite variety.
Oh, what are you doing?
We're doing a bird's eye view of
Okay, so we'll put that on the back gas. It should have been stirred more. I should have been breaking down the onions, but I said I was doing a couple of other things. So normally you'd stir this down and stir this down and stir this down. Okay. So put that on, and to do the tadka.
it. You're making a garlic oil.
Yeah, we've done this before, Seth, with the red lentils. You cook the garlic and you add that to it.
That's a one bulb of minced garlic. And Fosia's favourite is the basil.
Oh, that'll be at the end. It's not going in yet. It's not going in yet.
Sam said there should be no water in the red beans and butter. Break onions down. It's time though.
Shush. Here we go.
Okay, oil has gone in. How much oil are you putting in?
It's probably about a cup worth at least. It's got to be enough to cover the garlic. We do like our oil and butter in our curries.
So what's cilantro?
Cilantro is coriander. It's the American word for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds Spanish.
Yeah. Cilantro is the American word. Or Spanish, but I'm sure it's American. Now, you want me to work here, don't you, so to do...
Can anyone elaborate? Is cilantro Spanish? I can't remember.
Right, so we've got one more job to do, which is the biscuits.
Oil. Oh, your sister says oil.
Oil for what? What you talking about?
Oil for hair, oil for joints, oil for your car. It's ghee or butter in tadka. Fosia's used, what type of oil have you used, Fosia?
This is just sunflower oil. I'm just ignoring salt.
Sunflower oil.
There's butter there. I'll throw that in for you in a minute. Don't cry. Okay. I'm just cooking the garlic here. I'm putting it in straight into that. So even if you're using the tin can one, do the same thing. Okay, obviously not as much. You probably need less. Okay, let that cook through.
Looks pretty good.
Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of butter because our Sal will never forgive me if I don't. I don't normally add butter, by the way, but my sister wants to have this curry today, so I have to put a little bit of butter in just to make her happy. Okay. Right, so still haven't finished it off. I'm just going to leave that to simmer. So both curries are just going to simmer now. Okay.
You can smell the richness in that.
It smells really nice, doesn't it? That's good. Now, as I said, normally, if you're not fasting, you can check the seasoning here. So check your salt, check your chili powder and stuff like that. Chili should be okay, but we might need to add a bit more salt later on. So I think which is fine.
That's not a deal breaker then.
It's not. Okay, so I'm going to put this on low gas. So we can now focus on last final thing, which is the biscuits. Okay. Do you want me to work here?
Yeah, we're on. We don't have a lot of charge left, so I'm charging as we're going.
Right. Okay. So. Okay, so we're going to roll out on this side, just because. So I've got the nut one here, but I'll use the plain one because we'll do the icing on the plain one. So if I did shapes on the nut one, I'd just drizzle some icing over because that's the adult biscuits. But for the kids or gift ones, you tend to do plain. Now, here is a very, very simple way. What's with the cat then? Did I see the cat? Okay, right. Simple way of rolling out without having to use flour too much, and it keeps the shape. So you get the cling film, put it down. You break that down into the middle of it, right? Okay. This is actually half the amount because I've already cooked some. I'll show you in a minute why. Okay. Double cling film. So you've got cling film on top and cling film underneath it. Okay. Then you get your rolling pin and squeeze them together. It works, don't worry. Okay. This is where you got if you got like very wet biscuits. I do like a ginger biscuit. The kids love a ginger biscuit, and this is the only way you can really roll it out is through two cling film. Or you can do two grease-proof papers as well. You got, and also if you're doing short crust pastry for a pie and it's all crumbly, this is the way to do it. Okay, so I'm going to keep mine fairly chunky. I'm not going to go too thin. Okay. Right, that's all on that one. Find my cling film.
Another half.
I'm actually opening the cling film up. Never had that on you. Okay, there you go. Right, so I've got loads of various cookies here. So I've done, so that side's a little bit thicker, so I'm going to just roll it even. So I'm going to go for one of these. Now you've got to look ahead and see what sort of gift ones you want to make. Heart one, we'll do a nice little cookie one, and should we decorate a gingerbread man for the laugh? No, we won't. We'll do a star. Okay, so you've got 4 different ones here. Okay, now I've got my old baking trays, which is why it's covered. I bought new ones, and do you know what? They're too big for the oven. So I've got all this. I'm going to line it with greaseproof paper. Always double line.
You bought some oven trays.
And they don't fit. So I've taken to work. The huge Asda sell trays which are way too big for your oven. Silly. Right, okay, so use a flat spatula to pick them up because they are quite delicate, these.
How thick do they have to be?
They're about 1 centimetre or so, aren't they? You can do as thin or as thick as you like. It's just a shortbread biscuit. Just take a little bit longer if you're doing thicker to cook, that's all. We like them nice and chunky.
These are about 1 centimetre.
Yeah, about 1 centimetre these. Okay, right. And then I'm going to show you one other one. I'll show you what we do. want you to do something else for you. Okay, so you got the cookie ones, right? And then we shall do one extra one. Go back, put that rolling back on. I know it's fatty and that, but you know what? It's such a difference. You don't need extra flour on it. It's such a difference.
Easy cleanup.
Oh, I need to put that on the gas. Why is that bubbling away so much? Okay, right.
It's easy cleanup.
Right. I did like some mosque ones as well. So you actually just need to grab a piece of paper for it. Because some things, sometimes you want to do something for Eid. I think the mosque ones I did. And all I did was make a dough. So you can do your own templates basically. Make a dough. And cut it out. See what I mean in a minute. This is a bit more faffy, these ones, because you have to cut each one out individually, but they are worth it because they look nice. And obviously, sometimes you can't get every single pattern you want. So this is going to make a nice little dough. Well, a nice little one. So I need a knife. So you can do any, but this time you just have to cut it around, so you have to be patient yourself. So if you do need gifts ones, these are quite nice to do. Okay, and you just cut. Okay, and again, you just get. Don't try to pick it up. It is very crumbly, sort of. It's a very short biscuit. Okay, right. Try and neaten the edges off. Not a bit big. Tiny bit bigger than what I wanted to, but it's fine. We're just doing it very quickly. Right, so I'll put those in the oven so you can faff around, do a lot more. I've got loads more to do later on. So I'm going to put those in the oven for now. Okay. Yep. So the different size biscuits. I'll show you something in a minute now. So they're going in about 180. I think about 20 minutes or so.
20 minutes at
20, 25 minutes, something like that.
180.
They've got to be lightly brown. 20, 25 minutes. So, I mean, I'll still squash that and I'll make these all together, okay, afterwards. But I'm going to leave that for now because
we're going to ice them now.
I made some earlier just because we're not going to sit there and wait for them to cool down. So you lot will have to ice yours afterwards if you're following it. Okay. Right, so we've got 5. I've got 5 here. Okay, so we're going to do piping bag. Now, you will need food colourings. If you're going to go for different designs, you're going to need food colouring, don't forget as well.
Has everyone really got piping bags?
I did write up piping bags on the list if you are going to do this. I did put this
Hang on, couldn't you just use...
No, if I did the adult biscuits, I would just literally use a spoon and just drizzle that. You're right. This is for gifts, okay, sort of thing. So we take that a bit more sort of seriously. So yeah, that's okay. Still, this icing, royal icing will go hard, a skin on it if you're not sort of careful. Okay, still, yeah, okay, that's quite. Actually, it's quite runny for me, so I'm going to add a tiny bit more icing. Well, I might not. Let me just have a little look. Got more icing ready in case. Okay, let's see how we go. Two scissors. Right. Okay, tablespoon. I'm going to put a little bit in because I want to see how drizzly it is. Let's get this out of the way. Okay.
Can we add powdered food colouring?
I've not done powdered food colouring. I've always done gel ones. I don't know how they will be, to be honest. You could try it. No reason why not. I think people do actually. So, I've got actually loads of little tips for this, as in I bought metal tips, but you know what the simplest way is? Now you need to be quite neat around the edge, and then you can fill it quite with loads in. So sometimes if I'm doing loads of them, I'll do one bag with a fine cut and one bag with a big cut inside
Hey,
it.
hamster's waking up. He's woken up.
So let's go for this one. Okay, and then you go inside. Right.
There you go.
Now, okay. I'll show you something. Sorry there. Okay, you've got a couple of little blips there. So you get a toothpick. Best way is grab a toothpick and fill them up together. This is actually quite runny, so I can see. And if it's going off the edge, just get your toothpick and just wipe it off. Yours is a little bit runny. Do prefer it thicker. So this one's a bit runny for me, which is fine. You're just neaten it up. Okay?
Truffles is on.
Hi, Soph. Hope you guys are good. So we're icing the biscuits now. Okay. Right, so do another one. So actually, should we do? Yeah, we'll do one more. I'll do one with colour. So you do this one, and you've seen I've done Pokemon ones. So
That's enough. Fozzie said that you're a very indecisive person, and then he said, "No, you're not."
Oh, am I? Oh, okay.
Am I?
Right. So am I? Okay. Right. And the other way is if it's quite thick, if you made it too thick and it's not jumping around, you just need to gently tap it, and it falls into place as well. Sort of thing. But this is quite runny icing, and I should have done that. Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to colour one. We'll do it green. We're going to do a tiny bit of food colouring into one. So if I get a tiny bit of colour, well, not a tiny bit, it's a lot. Okay. So this is green one. So to make the dough. So and I think I will add a bit of icing powder to it because the other one was running. So I'm adding a touch more, quite thick, but now it will go green, this one, because I've got the green gel. You get loads of food colourings online, by the way. They're all online, all the food colourings. There's Wilton's, there's Sugar Flare, there's loads of different brands of food colouring. Okay, so what I was going to do with this one, is we'll get another piping bag. I'll just take it out properly. Okay, so you've got that inside there. Let's squeeze that down. Put a little dots in there. Get messy. I normally have that red table covered with cookies because you can't put them on top of each other. That's the one thing as well. So, you know, you do have to. And you can put little blobs on. And then do a border. Okay, so there's just loads of different things you can do, you know, just stripe, you can do whatever. Now I'm going to let these dry out because there is other things I've got as well. So I do use a lot of these templates you get online, sort of thing, so I do use these, it's got mosques and that, but you have to let that dry about an hour. Then you put that on top, and I've got powder dust. You put it in a little plate and get like one of these, a blusher brush. Use one of these and you can blush it on, sort of thing, so you get like a mosque onto it, sort of thing. I've even got, I think it's Eid Mubarak on this one. Yeah, I've got Eid Mubarak, so I can do that with that. So you can literally just dust it on, but these are too wet at the moment to do it. See, that does sometimes you even leave it overnight to dry is even better.
You do that in coffee, on your coffee?
Yeah, I've got loads of things. You get these little template type things online. There's a moon one. There's a lovely little one.
What site?
eBay. I think they were just on eBay. You can actually get them on eBay. So this has got copper gold, one I've used here, sort of thing. So, and then you just put the musk. I can't put them on right now because it does need to go dry. Simple. That's why. Okay, sort of thing. So That's your cookies decorating. But literally I've got loads of colours. I've got gold beads. You'll see different designs. So there's tons of colours. I normally have bowls of them out, sort of thing. So we won't be able to do that. But I will decorate all these cakes later.
To your own needs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really, so.
Yeah. Literally, just things. So. And then you could do whatever. You might also have to do Christmas cookies. It's not just Eid ones, obviously. Just Christmas and stuff like that. There's loads of different things.
Any event.
Right, we're going to go back to my curries. Cookies are still cooking in the oven nicely. I've got green fingers now. But the red bean is nearly done now. That's nice. It's quite thick.
I'd say it is all probably
That's
done.
Let's have a look at the lamb. Look at that. Actually, does for some reason. Okay. Right, let me just check the lamb is soft. That needs about another 10 more minutes, so I'm just going to leave that on simmer, but I'll show you how to finish it off. The lamb's still slightly underdone. Okay. So, how do you finish off our curries? Can you remember?
Yeah, Alex is on.
So to finish off the curries, chop your coriander up. So the red bean one is more or less done. Lamb probably take about 10 more minutes longer, so, but I will leave that on simmer, sort of thing. So you just check that your lamb is nice and soft before you turn it off. But this is how you'd finish it off. Okay, right.
This is coriander.
Coriander is going to go into both. So coriander into that one. Coriander into that one. Okay. And you've got garam masala. So don't forget, there's 2 garam masalas. This is the packet one because it's darker.
1 monster teaspoon.
I'm going to use about a tablespoon. Probably, yeah. And same into there. Don't forget, this amount will feed about 8 people each pan. 8 because I'm feeding my family with this. So this is their iftari meal tonight as a treat from us. Because I can't possibly eat it all, not mine. Okay, so and then this is what's this one? Can you remember? The ground coriander and cumin in the ground, freshly, completely
I can
different.
smell a lot
fresh,
of fennel.
Yeah. It's not fennel.
No, from the first one.
Yeah, probably
smell
has. Yeah,
fennel.
probably has. Okay, so this is fresh coriander. So you've got 2 garam masalas going in. Okay, let's just stir that through. Okay. So you've got red bean curries done. You take the bay leaf and the cinnamon stick all out. That one's definitely done. I'm happy with that one. So I'll put that on the back gas. I'm going to turn that gas off. And that's done. Okay, so we'll actually put it to bowls in a second. To do a picture. So this is the lamb one. That's nearly done. And you've got peppers in there. It's just lamb and pepper. And it's just a nice combination. Lamb and pepper. Goes really, really well. Right. What I'm going to do is just put them all into bowls so you can see. So we're going to show you the final result, okay? It should look like. So there you've got, drip it everywhere. Okay, we've got the lamb. We've got okay. So we've got
Yeah, naans will go epically with all this.
so Halwa. Okay. Let's get red beans into this one and you can see all the final bits. So there you have.
Well done, everyone.
Hang on. Here, hang on. So you've got that and that. That. Let me get to your plate. see what they've got. Biscuits. Right, okay. So what we made today is red bean curry and dry red bean. That's actually really nice and soft. Lamb might need about a couple of more minutes, but it's nearly there. That's what it should like, lamb and pepper curry. We've done some halwa, which we'll feed to the clan. And we've done some ice cookies. I've just done absolutely basic ones, but I've shown you can use different stencils, because that will need a couple of hours to dry out, and then you can flake on more stencils. Covered a lot today, but only because we had time with the lamb curry. Next week, I think I'm going to go on to chicken korma, I think so, and some, what did I say, what did I promise, what did you say it was? Brownies.
Brownies.
And something else. I'm sure we'll find something else to cook.
Pâté de foie gras.
And don't forget, there's going to be any biryani cookalong. We are building up to kebabs as well. Got chipli kebabs. I think a few people after the chipli and the seed kebabs as well. And actually just traditional handi. Actually, we haven't actually just done traditional.
Vegetable.
And
Vegetable.
Mr. Chowdhury's favourite vegetable curry. We haven't done that as well.
Yeah, very simple,
Yeah.
very basic.
Okay. So hopefully I shall cook along. Hopefully I'll see you lot next Sunday. Take care.
Bye bye everyone.